My name is Tekla. I work in the finance department for Dan London. And previously, I actually worked for the help desk for Dan Swedish Network. So I came in with a bit of background knowledge, I guess. Now, my department, for one, we have a lot of colleagues that are also part of the LGBT plus community. So I always have someone to talk to, which is fine. Also, we kind of joke quite a lot with each other. So it's that sense of like family. So
Hmm.
whenever this type of question arises, it's always a comfortable one. We answer questions and it's absolutely fine. That is a very, very good question. I mean, obviously, I knew some other people within Dan, but my main experience is with my department, which is absolutely fine in this context. But I think it's just the more visible and open conversation. So I do know that we have separate groups for people of color and ethnicities, people with disabilities within the company, and LGBTQ plus. I think it would be very, very good if all these people would have a platform to discuss with each other, be that meetings, be that everything else, because we all have that really good experience on how to tackle being different, so to speak, from a societal point of view. And I think it's very, very important that we can swap these stories and like grow together because, you know, you hear this strength lies in numbers philosophy quite a lot. I think that actually strength lies more so in diversity. And it helps a lot. So especially that we come from a lot of different backgrounds, being a very multicultural community, even if you have, let's say, 10 people in the same room that identify as bisexual, they're going to have very, very different experiences. So myself coming from Eastern and Central Eastern Europe, I lived my first 21 years in Romania. And yeah, we knew that there are people out there identifying as lesbian or gay or even transgender, but we never ever heard the term bisexual really. We didn't know it existed. So I moved to Hungary when I was 21, and it's quite close to where I used to live in Romania. But society is just that bit more open and that bit more, you know, talkative about this subject. So I was actually 21 when I first heard the term bisexual, looked it up, and I was like, oh, lovely. It's not only me, there are other people out there who have, you know, the same interest as me, so to speak. Now, obviously, I can't speak for obviously the whole region, but Romania and Hungary are still quite back in terms of LGBTQ plus. So let's say seeing the pride flags on government buildings, it's not really a thing. Even if they get put up for some reason, by the next day they're gone because they get ripped, stolen, what you have. So I'm not saying that England doesn't have or the UK doesn't have a lot more to, you know, achieve, but it's insanely better than what it is back home. Coming from Eastern Europe, from Romania, we never heard of that term back like 12 to 15 years ago. So when I actually moved country to Hungary, that's when the term first popped up. And it was absolutely liberating to know that you actually belong somewhere.
Hmm.
And I think it's still one of the best experiences of my life in these terms. Now, for misconceptions, I think my biggest pet peeve is it's just a phase.
Hmm.
You're just experimenting. It's going to be fine. You're going to, you know, either decide if you're straight or lesbian. I'm like, well, it's not how it works.
Mhm.
And this, the whole, it's a phase thing. I get a lot because I'm alternative as well. So in your teenage years, when you start this whole I'm wearing black and have chains and whatnot,
Hmm.
people are just saying like, oh, you're just rebelling. It's just a phase. You're going to grow out of it. And it's kind of the same mentality for bisexuality. They just see it as a phase that you're experimenting. It's going to turn out fine at a point. Now I'm 31 currently. I am still alternative. I'm still bisexual as well. So nothing has really changed. The good thing in that term is, from the alternative point of view, people just stop. They just realize, oh, if you're 31 and you're still like that, you're like that.
Mhm.
Bisexuality, however, as soon as you enter a stable relationship, it might my case with a man, which I am in currently, people just see it as a trigger and then like, oh, see, I told you, you're straight. You know, everything, you
Mm.
know, you experienced stuff and you experimented with stuff. It's fine, but see, you're actually straight. And I'm like, well, it's not how it works. I made a conscious decision. That does not mean that I stop liking or being attracted to women.
Mm.
And you try to level with these people just to make them understand a bit more. So I'll try to ask them a question like, oh, do you only have, a favorite type of food or color?